My name is Colin Leith and I work for Edexcel as the Subject Advisor for Economics and Business. I want to tell you about moving from the First Award in Business to the Tech Award in Enterprise. A key difference between the two is that the Tech Award is not a unitised qualification. The specification content is divided into components rather than units, and there are significant overlaps between these components. The assessment of the last component is synoptic. The other key difference is that learners will study small and medium-sized enterprises on this qualification, rather than large national or multinational businesses. While on the theme of overlaps, I will start with the overlaps between the First Award and Tech Award, before looking at the external assessment and finally looking at the grading. The first thing to say is that there are significant areas of overlap, particularly if you've been teaching Unit 3 on the First Award. We've produced a mapping document to show you the overlaps so that you can repurpose resources for the Tech Award specification. The first component of the Tech Award covers content from the old Units 1 and 3, and Component 2 asks learners to produce a business plan which is not dissimilar to what they did in the old Unit 1. I should also say at this point that there are significant overlaps between the Tech Award and the old Applied GCSE in business. The externally assessed component is Component 3. Here you will find content that you recognise from the old Units 2 and 4 of Applied GCSE. The Tech Award external assessment is a traditional exam rather than an on-screen test, and it also carries a higher weighting, 40% rather than 25%. It's available twice a year and candidates are allowed one resit. If a candidate has 2 attempts, then the better result counts towards the final grade. The Component 3 exam should be taken in Year 11 and not in Year 10, as it is a synoptic assessment. The First Award only had one Level 1 grade, the Level 1 Pass, a fallback. The Tech Award has 7 grades in all, 3 at Level 1 and 4 at Level 2, and this provides the full range of ability at Key Stage 4. So I've looked briefly at the overlaps, the external assessment and the grading. The Tech Award in Enterprise is included in the DFE list of qualifications eligible for inclusion in performance measures, and this is probably the most compelling reason for moving from the First Award. I do hope that you will find it as engaging as the First Award, and that you will recognise that there are sufficient similarities for you to be able to reuse resources which have worked well for you in the past,